any new items of business to be presented at this time?
Madam Chairman,
Sarah.
I move to build 10 benches and picnic tables at our local city park.
Madam Chairman, I
Ben.
second that motion.
It's been properly moved by Sarah and seconded by Ben to build 10 benches and picnic tables for the local city park. Is there any debate?
Madam Chairman,
Sarah.
for years we've been holding our FFA picnics and parties at our local park. Since then, the benches and picnic tables have become very worn down. As a service to the community as itself, we should build these 10 benches and 10 picnic tables to donate back to the community for all that they've given to us.
Madam Chairman,
Ben.
last week we received 3 newsletters from area chapters, and they were telling about how all they did was community service projects and things of that nature. And we haven't done a community service project within the last 2 years. So we could build these benches and picnic tables as a great way to do a community service project.
I rise to appoint a parliamentary inquiry.
Say your inquiry.
Would it be proper to amend the motion at this time?
Sean, it would be proper to amend the motion at this time.
Madam Chairman,
Sean.
I would move to amend the motion by striking out local city park and adding in Hillsdale High School.
Is there a second?
I second.
Is it properly moved by Sean and seconded by Libby that we amend the motion by striking out local city park and inserting Hillsdale High School? May I remind you this is debatable, amendable, and requires a majority vote. Is there any debate?
Madam Chairman,
Sean.
2 Sundays ago, I had my senior pictures done at the high school, and I noticed that there was 3 different families walking around with their little kids, and they were just kind of like eating an apple and walking around. And I thought to myself then, man, wouldn't it be really nice if we had some picnic tables so our families in the community could come and sit and eat with their kids and their other family members on Sunday evenings and such times like that.
Madam Chairman,
Libby.
our local city park was recently given a grant to update their facility, so they would not really need us to build them new benches and picnic tables because they could just buy their own with this grant. So we should do this for our school instead.
Madam Chairman,
Sydney.
our school has 5 different shop classes this year, and it would be a great opportunity for them to give back to this school, which gives them so many different opportunities. So having the benches and picnic tables built for our school would be a perfect community service project for students to give back to their own school.
Madam Chairman,
Ben.
Many of our members and other members of the school are allowed to eat outside during lunch, but they have nowhere to sit besides the sidewalk and the grass. So if we were to put these at our high school rather than the local city park, it'd be a way to let members sit on like actual chairs instead of just sitting on the grass and concrete.
Madam Chairman,
Sarah.
as many of you remember, last year we had lots of picnic tables and chairs and benches outside for the students to sit on, but they all got damaged. Students drew on them and carved in them, and it was just a disaster. There was nowhere for them to sit because we had to take them away from, because they continued to disturb them. So So we're choosing to build them at the local city park instead of at the school so that they won't get nearly as damaged here and they'll get more use at the local city park than they would at the school.
Madam Chairman,
Sydney.
these picnic benches and picnic tables and benches wouldn't be just for the high school. They would be also for the elementary school and middle school where those kids still have recess time. And I know that the elementary school only has 1 picnic table and it is very old and it has a bunch of, and whoever sits on it always gets splinters and everything, and the little kids always love to sit outside and hang out with their friends, so this would be a great opportunity to give to the elementary and middle school and also the high school.
Madam Chairman,
Libby.
We already have some benches that are down by our football and soccer field, but they're very run down and break very easily. We should build these new benches to replace those old ones so our athletes have somewhere to sit when they come off the field.
Madam Chairman,
Sean.
one of the issues with this could be a money issue, but 2 years ago I was on a student council committee for our school that talked about one of our service projects being purchasing new benches for our school. But the issue we came into is our school didn't have the money. Our school does donate to our FFA quite a bit, and it would be very nice if we gave back with some of our money that we have set aside for community service and purchasing these benches for them to give back to our school.
Madam Chairman, I call for previous question.
Is there a second?
I second that.
Is it probably moved by Ben and seconded by Libby that we have the previous question has been called for? May I remind you that this is non-debatable, non-amendable, and requires a 2/3 vote. All those in favor of terminating debate and going directly into a vote, please rise. 4, Madam Secretary. All those opposed, please rise. 1, Madam Secretary. For the vote being 4, 4, and 1 opposed, the previous question passes. We will now vote on the amendment. All those in favor of the amendment say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Nays have it. The amendment fails. Is there any further debate on the original motion?
Madam Chairman.
Libby,
I move to limit debate to 1 minute per debate.
is there a second?
Madam Chairman, I second that motion.
Is it properly moved by Libby and seconded by Ben that we limit debate to 1 minute per person? We remind you that this is non-debatable and amendable to time only. Is there any amendments? Hearing none, we shall now proceed by a 2/3 vote. All those in favor of limiting debate to 1 minute per person, please rise. 2, Madam Secretary. All those opposed, please rise. 3, Madam Secretary. For the vote being 2 for and 3 opposed, the limit of debate fails. Is there any further debate?
Madam Chairman,
Ben,
I move to divide the question so the first motion reads, I move to build 10 benches for local city park, and the second to read, I move to build 10 picnic tables for local city park.
is there a second?
I second that.
Is it properly moved by Ben and seconded by Libby to divide the question so that it would read the first motion? I move to build 10 benches for the local city park, and I move to build 10 picnic tables for the local city park. May I remind you this is non-debatable and amendable only. Are there any amendments? Hearing none, we shall now proceed to vote by a majority vote. All those in favor of dividing the question say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Nays have it. The dividing of the question fails. Is there any further debate?
Alright, to a question of personal privilege.
State your privilege.
May I use the restroom?
Libby, we're in the middle of official business meeting where everyone is required to be here at all times. No, you may not leave the room. Privilege denied. Is there any further debate?
Madam Chairman,
Sean,
the people that run our local park system is called the Ashland County Park Fund. And they in the past have come and done a demonstration for our freshmen that were interested in doing some of our CDEs related to outdoors. I think it would be a nice way to show them that we appreciate them coming in and talking to our students by giving back to them in their park, and they are in need of benches there. They have not had new benches in over 2 years, and they're looking pretty rough. So I think that we should give this to them so we can show our support.
Madam Chairman, Ben.
With the weather being colder, I know less and less people are going to the city park because it's simply not as convenient or the weather's not as nice, so they don't want to be there. So we should not even vote on this motion now because it's not going to matter until the next spring when more people are actually starting to use the park, so we should fail this motion.
Madam Chairman, Sydney.
I move to recess for 5 minutes.
Is there a second?
I second that.
Is there probably moved by Sydney and seconded by Sean to recess for 5 minutes? Remind you that this is non-debatable and amendable at time only. Are there any amendments? Hearing none, we shall now proceed to vote. All those in favor of recessing for 5 minutes say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Nay.
Nays have it. Recess fails.
I call for the division of the House.
The division of the House has been called for. We will now vote by a standing vote. All those in favor of recessing for 5 minutes, please rise. 1, Madam Secretary. All those opposed, please rise. 4, Madam Secretary. For the vote being 1 for and 4 opposed, the recess fails. Is there any further debate?
Madam
Chairman.
Chairman.
Libby.
One of our alumni members has recently donated wood for us to use for anything our chapter might need. We could use that so we wouldn't have to pay for materials to build these benches and picnic tables.
Madam Chairman,
Sarah.
winter is coming quickly, and our ag students are going to need a project to do over the winter. If we begin on these benches and picnic tables now, by the time spring rolls around, they'll be finished, and we can present them to the park by in April.
Madam Chairman,
Sydney.
as recently stated, we have many of our chapter meetings at our local park. And not only that, I'm in the ag business class this year, and we just recently went on a field trip to the local park to do community service and pick up trash around the park. So we get a lot of use out of the local city park picnic tables, so it's nice to give back to them and give them new ones.
Madam Chairman,
Sarah.
I'm going to postpone this question definitely to 7 p.m. in the ag room to our next regularly scheduled meeting.
Is there a second?
Madam Chairman,
Ben.
second that motion.
Is it probably moved by Sarah and seconded by Ben that we postpone this motion definitely to our next regular scheduled meeting, 7 p.m. in the ag room. Remind you, this is debatable and amendable. Is there any debates?
Madam Chairman,
Sarah.
right now there's only a few of us present, and I believe that our chapter as a whole deserves to vote on this motion. And the ag shop students should vote on it as well, since it does pertain to them.
Madam Chairman,
Sarah.
none of us are in any of the shop classes this year, so we need to postpone this so some of the kids that participate in the shop classes can have the choice to vote on this motion.
Madam Chairman.
Ben.
Right now, we're really busy with finishing up fruit sales, and it's going to be coming in here within the next week, as well as t-shirt sales. So we need to